Welcome, FNews57 here. I'm back on my Xbox One, and today I will be bringing you another achievement guide. In this video, I will show you how to get the achievement Brought a Knife to a Gunfight. This is part of Gears of War 5, or Gears 5, and you have to complete an escape hive without firing a shot on Master difficulty. Currently, it is a diamond achievement worth 25 gamer score and less than a 0.10% unlock rate. Now, I already have the achievement unlocked. I actually got it in a random group, so you will not see me unlock the achievement, but I will show you how we actually completed it and how to set it up. From the picture that they do give you a little bit of a hint as to a few of the things that you can use, but they don't really tell you too much. So in order to get this achievement, you must complete a hive on Master difficulty without firing a shot, but that is team-based. No one on the team can fire a shot. You can use ultimates, you can use grenades, you can use melee weapons like the breaker mace, as long as it is only the B button melee, not the actual charged melee. At least I was never able to get the achievement to unlock using the charged melee. So there's a couple different things. Right now, I recommend if you're going for this achievement, go to Escape, Custom Game, and you're going to want to host a custom game. There's two maps that it's pretty easy to do it on. A couple people have told me it's possible to do on the mines, but I couldn't get it. The one that I actually got it on was the Surge, and I suppose it would also be relatively plausible to do on Venom Run. The only difference with Venom Run is that Venom is going to be completely engulfing you, so I don't really particularly like Venom Run. As I said, I did it on the Surge. So you want to go ahead and put it on the Surge. This is a good speed run farming map. Obviously, you'll have all the modifiers on and get a couple of friends or at least other people with mics to help you out with this. Now, since you won't be shooting, if you do the Surge map, you're going to be ahead of the Venom the majority of the time. So Venom cards aren't really going to help you. If you do the Venom Run map, then Venom cards obviously will help you. But depending on the map you do is going to determine the cards that you want to use. Regardless of the situation, you're going to need to have a leveled up Hive Buster. And there's several different ones to choose from. I did it with LAHNI. I think LAHNI'S really good. You could also esse Emil if you have the Halo Reach character pack. You could use Mac because he's got extra health cards. Really, it's entirely up to whatever you have leveled up the most and whatever you have the most damage resistance cards for. So I'm going to unequip the cards that I was using on the other run, and I'll show you the cards that I used to get it. I put on mid-range deflection. I put on short-range deflection. And then I made sure that I had Shock Chain on at the time, and I had Ambush on. The fifth card is entirely up to you. A lot of people say Nimble is better, or really it doesn't matter for LAHNI. Shock Shield, if you have it, can be really good. It's just all personal preference on what your team is running. As far as Mac goes, if you're going to run a Mac, the reason why I like Mac is because of the Crazy Tough skill that gives you more health, and then of course the barrier that you can use to block incoming damage. But I would recommend having at least one LAHNI. So for the purposes of me explaining it, I am simply going to do this with all the modifiers. Well, yeah, I'll keep the modifiers off. Just to give you a general idea. Obviously, more filler enemies will give you more enemies. More Scions gives you more Scions. More drones gives you more drones. More Pouncers adds about 2 Pouncers, maybe 4 Pouncers at the most to the total of the run. More health and more lethal are self-explanatory, and then of course Iron Man makes it so you can't die. So I'm just going to show you where I went up until the point that I was recording in the open video. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have the full thing recorded because it was a random group that I joined up with and didn't actually expect to get the achievement, but because a lot of people are speedrunning this particular map and Venom Run to get cards, it's actually a relatively easy achievement to get, since the majority of the time, if you have to kill anything, you're going to be using melee, and you're pretty much going to be using flashbangs to get past most of the enemies. So very simple and straightforward process there. Alright, basically, once you can take control over your character, we're going to go ahead and run this like any other normal speed run for the Surge if you were just going for cards. You're pretty much going to ignore everything that shoots at you. If you're fast enough, you won't even have to worry about them at all. At this point, one person, usually Mac, will go right. The other two players on your team are going to go left. There'll be a couple more enemies, probably a total of about 5 more enemies through this area. At least 2 of your team members should be able to make it through here. You might get all 3 of your team members through. It's just RNG based. Duck in this door, and then you're going to want to make sure you grab a stim. If you can quickly find the flashbangs, go ahead and grab the flashbangs. Sometimes it's a bit of a pain, but basically you'll grab that ammo pack and you'll get a flash. The more flashes you have, the better. Now, there will be a lot more filler enemies on Master difficulty, so you're going to go ahead and want to spend about no more than 10 seconds in that room before you get to this safe room. And you're going to need as many flashbangs as you can get. So if you get the regular grenade spawn, the regular flashbang, you pick it up, grab the explosive ammo packs. If there is absolutely no flashbangs there already, you just grab the ammo packs, the explosive ammo packs, and they give you a flashbang. If you have a Keegan that can carry multiple grenades, like 3, 4, 5 flashbangs, that makes it easier. But if not, everybody just grabs 1 or 2, and you just keep going. You should be able to get through that part relatively easily. As I said, it is RNG on the enemy placement. And you will have more enemies than what I have right here. And this is where it's going to get a little bit more difficult, because in this room you'll usually have a claw that shoots at you, sometimes 2 claws, and then it's RNG after this. Depending on what you get here, which is normally a lot of juvies, and then usually there's claws and hunters, you'll want to go through here, and you'll usually flash the enemies that are right there. If you have like a cog gear with you, they can use their team revive alt. As you see, I didn't kill anything, and I almost have my alt 50% charged. And then you'll have the enemies coming at you. You'll want to make sure that you flash the enemies that are coming at you, and then you want to stay on this leading edge of the door. If you stay on this leading edge of the door, then the salvo scions usually, and I say usually because it works about maybe 85-90% of the time, but the salvo scions will not actually make it through the door, which makes it a hell of a lot easier. Once the door closes, and usually these enemies don't make it through the door either, but once all of that closes and is done, eliminate any stragglers that may have made it through the door with you. You will escape on the Raven, and you will unlock your achievement as long as nobody on the team fires a shot. So that's the path that you take. Alright, so I'm going to show you the capture recording. Now, like I said, the recording didn't record the entire thing because it was a random group I wasn't expecting to get the achievement with. But we just came out of the safe room, and I have my ultimate. We killed a few things earlier in the beginning because there was more rejects and stuff to deal with. Now, that path that I just showed you earlier, well, there was a lot more enemies on Master, and there always is more enemies. But because we had a random that was playing as the cog gear and he had his ult, I was able to be revived right there and then use my Electro Blade with Shock Chain to go ahead and stun those wardens and basically all the little enemies. Now you'll see he's keeping on the door. We did have 2 LAHNI'S, but you don't have to have 2 LAHNI'S. LAHNI, Emil, the cog gear, Mac, they all work really good for this. Anything with melee damage or increased health. And of course, a Pouncer did get through, but you just melee the Pouncer down, and then you're good to go. So that is the run that I joined a random group, and we were able to get the achievement on. Once the door shuts, locks, and you get on the Raven, right about now is when the achievement actually unlocked for us. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and that answered some questions. If it did answer the questions and you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like on it and share it, as that greatly helps me out with the searchability of videos here on YouTube. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, stay frosty.